Everyone, welcome back. It's day 26. Happy Republic Day. Yay. Even though it's 27, but you know, day 26 is day 26. We are living in past when I'm narrating my story. Apart from my PJ, let's talk about the question which I solved. It is surrounded regions. Okay, this is one interesting question. If you see, we are talking about this thing. I'll explain the question and then I'll explain the logic. I won't be writing the code here because it is very easy to implement that if you have already seen my previous videos. Well, I'm not a teacher or something, or there is no playlist about BFS, DFS. It's just that I had already described how I solve DFS questions. Yeah, that is it. It's not like I'm asking you to go back and check out those videos. There's nothing like that. Right. So if you see, the question is that there are two types of people, let's say 0 and x. Okay, and if 0 is surrounded by x from all the places, then they can conquer it and they can simply make it x as well. All right, but there are some conditions. If this 0 is at the edge, which means if either I equals to 0 or j equals to 0, if any of these condition is true, all right, I equals to 0 means it is this line. If j equals to 0 means if this is this line. And then we talk about these lines as well. I equals to n minus 1 or j equals to m minus 1. Alright, so these lines I equal to n minus 1 and then j equal to m minus 1. So basically these rows and column. Oh, sorry. Alright, basically on the border of the whole area of matrix, you can say. Um, and so this is the one condition. Other than that, if suppose the 0 is here and we have x here, and suppose a 0 is here and 0 is here. Okay, if a 0 is somewhere whose adjacent 0 is someone you can't take over. So basically I said if 0 is here on these borders, then you can't take over them. Okay, even if you have x here but 0 here, you can't take over because on the right side there is nothing. Okay, it's at the border, so you can't take over this 0. So this is the question. So now that's one condition when 0 cannot be taken over, and the other condition is that if 0 is here and its adjacent is a border and it has 0. All right, so basically if 0 is on an index and its adjacent index, which it could be like I minus 1 j, I plus 1 j, j minus 1, I sorry, I j minus 1 or I j plus 1. It could be any adjacent, all right? And if any of those adjacent is at the border and it has 0 in it, then you can't take over this as well. All right. So now if you would like want to see how would you solve it. Now if you see that we talked about this logic, it's given in the question that um, if someone is adjacent to this 0, okay, like this and this, you can't take over any of them, right? Suppose there were more, and 1 0 is here. Okay, so you would not be you would be able to take this one, because its adjacents are not is 0, which cannot be conquered. Okay, so you can make this as x, but these you can't. So what you would do is you would go ahead and start the BFS from all these nodes, from the boundaries, right? Like this. Right. So if you go ahead and see that you found a 0 from border, you would simply go ahead and start a DFS from here. So what will happen is it will keep on linking all the zeros, and let's say you were making them as a border. You found these are linked with the border 0, so you let's name it as B when you're traversing through. And once you have traversed all the metrics, what you would do is you would simply come up and reiterate through all the metrics. All right, and wherever you find that it is B, you would simply keep it as 0, and wherever you see that it's 0 and not B, you would simply make it as X, because that can be conquered. All right, so this is how it can be solved, and this pattern is called boundary DFS. Right, keep in mind. Alright, this was the lead code question which I solved. I didn't do any lead code because I have another interview coming up for full stack. So I'm preparing for backend. So I'm preparing Node.js. I'll be preparing TypeScript. I'll just go through TypeScript, nothing like there to prepare. And will brush up my React. I've been asked so many questions to like straight away implement in React. Like yesterday, I had an interview. They asked me to implement a counter. All right, counter as in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you won't believe I messed this up. So what happened was I wrote the code like this. Mm, did I wrote? What did I write? I guess I took a use state, right? This is the function. In the component inside, I came and then const timer set timer equals to user state, and is slashing it with 5, and then in use effect on load, what I'll be doing is um, I'm telling you what I did. Set interval, and then basically updating that set timer to uh, previous -1. Right, and giving it a time interval of 5 seconds. Guess what? This won't work. This started working at like 3, 5, 3, 1, -1, and kept on going. I don't know why it happened. Maybe it is happening because we have two asynchronous method here, which is set timer and set interval. All right. I guess what I could have done is uh, I could have simply ran a for loop. I mean, that also I tried, but there was one more thing which I missed while running the for loop. So basically, when we are running the for loop, let I equals to 5, I is greater than equal to 0, I minus minus, and then simply say set timeout you can use here, and let's say set timer, and then previous. You could simply say 5, sorry, 5, no, I, okay, and then give it a timer of 5 seconds. Okay, this also won't work. It would simply return 0 because we have again the set timer. Right now, How would you solve this? If you notice, this all will go in a call stack, and they all will be called after 5 seconds exactly. So it will have 0 after 5 seconds because it all will be executed and all, right. So that is why after showing 5 it will directly go to 0. What you can do is you can keep you know multiplied with I. This way it will get different time, okay, to execute. So this will have, like, suppose if it is 5, 5 into 5, 25, and 25,000, okay. And let's say the other one is 4, so it will become 20,000. You see there's a 5 seconds of gap. So that is how it will work. I mean, what you can do is you can start it from I equals to 0. Why? Because I guess it's correct only, right? So if for I equals to 5, it is 25,000. I equals to 4, it is 20,000. Right? Yeah, it should be opposite, no? Because we want to see I equals to 5 first, not last. But it will execute last because it is taking 25 seconds, not 20 seconds. Okay. So that is why we need to reverse it instead of starting from here. Yeah, so that is all I was asked. And I was also asked about implementing a simple to do, which I was able to, but there was some issue with setting the property. So make sure you guys study use state properly, right? And also this, if you see that I tried set interval here, right? You can achieve this thing as from set interval as well. So you can just give it some const set interval id equals to, and when you're returning from the hook, you can simply say returning from custom you sorry use effect hook, you can simply say clear interval, and this set interval id. This will work as well. It will print 5 4 3 2 1 0, right. And now let's move on to just one more thing. What you should do is I was asked this simple to do question where you need to do, like, have a add a new task, delete task, and strike through the text on checkbox select. So make sure you know the styles, how to style this strike through, and delete all task. That's all. It's pretty simple. I guess you'll be able to do it if you do React.js. Alright, now let's move on to this playlist. This is the playlist I'm following for Node.js. See, I know that I won't be able to go through heavy Node.js playlist, that would require too much of time. This guy, he has, like, kind of summarized in a crystal clear manner, and I also think that much is what we need if you already know JS and React. I guess this much is sufficient for you to be a full stack. I mean, I'm still here, but I guess in these three videos, if you see that he's talking about CRUD, then routing, and then this does not matter much, but these three. Scrud one, this is the most important one. Okay. And it's like 1 hour. So I guess he'll be able to cover almost everything that is needed to be a full stack developer for me. And yeah, that is all. Props to this guy. He explains very well. He explains in simple terms. I mean, he sometimes, he explains a lot about even a basic things, but it is a good thing for someone who is completely new. So that is why I prefer his videos, because it's, even though he's talking too much about some very basic thing, you might end up knowing something which was very basic but you didn't know it. So that is why you should not always skip those things. All right, there's always room to learn new things, even if it is basic. You will always find out yourself that you, in interviews, you are not able to answer few basic thing. I mean, there will always be some question which will be very basic, but you are not able to come up with a solution in interviews. That is why you should always, uh, not shy away from watching basics again. At the end of the day, it's brushing up your things. So yeah, thanks to this guy, and I'll share his playlist link in my description if you guys want. Yeah, that is all. Thank you. And yeah, on this today, 27th, I'll be finishing all this course so that I can start on TypeScript, React, brush up, and all. I mean, I'll be able to cover Node and Mongoose today. Yeah, I mean, Mongo and Node, that I have to cover at any cost today. Yeah, that is all. Thank you, guys.